Now, the African Energy Chamber has condemned Africa Oil Week's decision to relocate the conference venue for its flagship event from Cape Town, South Africa, to the United Arab Emirates. As the voice of Africa's energy sector, the African Energy Chamber says it fully supports and commits to conferences of the African nature being held on the African terrain. Now, to discuss this further, we are joined on the line from Toronto, Canada, by Africa Energy Chamber Executive Chairman NJ Ayuk. NJ, good morning, and thank you for joining us on Africa Rise and Shine.
Good morning. I'm actually in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Pardon?
I'm actually in Johannesburg,
NJ, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
NJ, are you with us?
I am with you.
NJ, if you can hear me, I just want to find out from you your reaction to the move by Africa Oil Week. Why in particular?
I think the move by Africa Oil Week is actually a slap in the face to the city of Cape Town. It's a slap in the face to the African people that have supported Cape Town, have supported Africa Oil Week for more than 20 years. For more than 20 years, everyday people have gone to this event, the oil industry have supported them. And today, because they believe that, one company believes that COVID-19 would make their event not profitable in Cape Town, in Africa, they decide to move to Dubai for profit. That is not the Africa we deserve. That is not the oil and gas industry. This industry is an African industry. This industry is an industry that stands by Africa and should not accept any kind of move for profit to the United Arab Emirates when Africa needs events the most at this time.
What do you think the message that this move is sending about Africa to the rest of the world?
It sends a very, very troubling message that when you cannot profit anymore from Africa, you move out and you move out quick. It sends a message to everyday people in cities like Cape Town, like Dakar, like Kigali, like Accra, like Lagos, that international companies would only come to Africa for profit. We are facing a very troubling time right now with COVID-19 pandemic when the food and beverage industry, the little guy in Africa that just wants to be big, they are losing jobs. They used to profit a lot from these events in Africa. Now they are going to be told, enough. Get back, you are going to stay back, and this is not going to work for you. But at a time when we really need to have a very serious discussion about our energy industry in the face of energy transition, this company is taking that event to Dubai, and it's not right. And African governments, African companies, African ministers should not stand and support this. We need to keep this in Africa. We need to promote African events, and we need to support the African industries at this time. We need it, Lord knows, we need it now more than ever.
Now, do you think that with this kind of move and in your engagements with the organizers, is there any indication that this could be a permanent move?
It always starts with saying, I'm just going to take a temporary step to test the nerves of the people, to test Africans to see if they would actually go ahead or go along. Once they do the first step and you acquiesce and accommodate, what happened? They make it permanent. You know, this Africa All Week was run by a great African called Duncan Clark. He made sure he put Africa on the map. Duncan would have never done such a thing when he ran Africa All Week. African ministers stood there. So it's temporary for today. It will be permanent for tomorrow. We say Africa permanent today, permanent tomorrow, permanent ever for Africa. That is what we stand for. That is what the oil industry should stand for. And that is what we will continue advocating for. We are permanently African. We cannot be temporary Africans. And that is why this industry needs to stay in Africa, and we need to drive it. And this time we have to stand with South Africa, and Cape Town now more than ever.
Now, Africa Oil Week is citing concerns of safety and well-being for the attendees. Now, looking at the current situation in South Africa and seeing a rise in COVID-19 infections, do you not agree that there could be some sort of, concerns on safety?
Let's face it, it's common sense. During winter months, COVID-19 infections would rise up. That was just the same in Europe. I'm just coming out of the German African Energy Forum. During the winter months, the COVID-19 cases rise up, but as the summer starts, it drops off. In October, in November, when they're going to have their conference, the cases in South Africa would have dropped off. But let's face it, the majority of people that go to Africa all week, that go to these energy conferences, number one, they would have been vaccinated. Number two, there's going to be same-day on-site testing. If you test positive, you don't go in. So you have to test negative. And if you're vaccinated, as our government want everybody to be, you are safe, you are protected, and the cities will be open. Nobody wants anybody to go in there and not feel and be unsafe. Nobody wants the spread of the COVID-19 virus. The same rules that you're going to have for conferencing in Dubai, you will have those same rules in Cape Town. The safety and well-being of people should be of our utmost concern. So there is no reason to use that as some crazy excuse to move this. Cape Town, more than any city, is going to get this right. Africa has been one of the least hit by COVID-19. It should not be the most punished by COVID-19 by a company coming from London that does not understand our continent. And we have to turn that around, and we have to do better.
Now, NJ, very quickly, South Africa, should Africa basically then still support the event as the African Energy Chamber? What's your next move? And very quickly, we have run out of time.
I don't believe in boycotts. If they don't, we need to organize an Africa Energy Week. The stakes are too high to not have an annual Africa Energy Week in this continent, because we are going to be facing energy transition. We are going to be facing COVID-19, where the IEA is saying every Africa will have a Tesla by 2030. We need to really stand up for this industry and stand up for Africa right now, because there's a lot at stake and energy poverty is big. Let's go Africa.
Well, thank you, NJ, for joining us this morning on Africa Rise and Shine.
Thank you so much for having me.